All right, we are live. Stephen Fulton versus Naoya Inoue for the 122-pound WBO and WBC titles. We're waiting for both fighters to get into the ring, and Jimmy Lennon Jr. has just announced Naoya Inoue, and now we're waiting for him to enter the ring. As he makes his entrance, there's a slight delay um, from Stephen Fulton. Took him a little extra time to get ready before he makes his entrance. Obviously, Inoue is the challenger, so he's going to come in first. But he didn't want to come in and have to wait too long for Fulton to come in. So let's talk about this fight. Highly anticipated fight. I'm excited about this fight. I think it's a great matchup. I really do. Let's talk about the questions going in. Inoue moving up to 122 from 118. Can he carry his power up? Inoue at the weigh-in looked ripped and shredded. He looked lean as ever. So you have to ask yourself, how long, would he have been able to make 118? Was this the right time for him to move up because he was possibly growing out of the division, right? Fulton looked great at the weigh-in. Much has been said about the size advantage. When these two guys went face-to-face, it did not look like Fulton was that much bigger. Obviously, he is bigger. He's fought bigger men. There's been talks of him going up to 126. So there's no question he is the bigger man, but I just think maybe the size could be exaggerated a little bit much or focused on a little bit too much, right? So let's talk about the tactics, the style. I know Mark Kriegel made a great point, and he said, well, Fulton's team want Fulton to be either all the way out or all the way in. They want to stay out of the mid-range. But if you go back and look at some of Inoue's previous fights, particularly the fight with Nonito Donaire, he did have some success on the inside, particularly with that left hook to the body and that short left uppercut on the inside. So I do think Inoue can hold his own on the inside. Now, another thing people are saying is Stephen Fulton has to pick and choose his spots. He's got to box, and he's got to know when to stand his ground. And when he does get on the inside, he's got to try to use his size and bully Inoue and possibly frustrate him on the inside, break up his rhythm, not allow him to get those punches off, sort of like a Bernard Hopkins type style. But I have not really seen Fulton fight in that way. Fulton's more of a finesse guy, right? He's a guy that likes to go in and out and box on the move, likes to use a lot of lateral movement. He's not the type of guy that will stay in the pocket for a long period of time and try to grind it out and grit it out on the inside and be that grinder type of fighter like Bernard Hopkins was, particularly later in his career. So it'll be interesting to see if Fulton does try to employ those tactics. I'm not sure if he will because I haven't seen him do that in the past. When you look back to the Brandon Figueroa fight, Fulton spent a lot of times on the ropes trying to suck Brandon Figueroa in, and Figueroa did, oblige him by coming on the inside and trying to exchange with him. But to Fulton's credit, a lot of shots were being slipped, blocked, and they weren't really landing clean. But Figueroa looked like he was the more busier guy, and you got into that type of situation where, what do you like, Figueroa's volume or Fulton's cleaner shots? Because Fulton was, like I said, blocking, slipping some of those shots, but he was countering and landing cleaner shots, but they weren't really stopping Figueroa from coming forward and being aggressive. So when you look at both fighters here, Inoue and Fulton, Inoue has 21 knockouts. So he has just as many knockouts as Fulton has fights. And Fulton only has 8 knockouts in his 21 fights. So will he have to get Inoue's attention early? Will he be able to use his size to his advantage on the inside? These are all questions that will be answered very shortly. But if I'm just going off of past performances, I do think Inoue can hold his own on the inside. You could argue that he's more dangerous in the mid-range because he throws that, because the left hook is predominantly a mid-range type punch, and that's his best weapon. But Fulton's still going to have to be wary of that left hook to the body up close, right? So Inoue is already in the ring now. We're awaiting Fulton to enter the ring, and this fight should be underway very shortly. And right now, as I always do, I have the goosebumps because, like I said, this is a big fight for me. Obviously, it's flying under the radar a bit, but for boxing fans like myself and some of you guys out there, the quote unquote diehards, we like this fight just as much as the Spence Crawford fight. Now, Fulton is almost a 4-1 underdog here. Let's see if the odds makers got it right. I think 4-1's a little wide, if I'm being honest. I think probably 2-1 would be more appropriate. But if you like Fulton here, you're getting those odds. He's definitely worth the value play. So now we're waiting for Jimmy Lennon Jr. to make the announcements here. Both guys look relaxed. Both guys look like they got a good warm-up in the locker room. No one looks dry, right? Playing the national anthem for the United States. Star Spangled Banner. No one's singing here. They're just playing the audio here. Yeah, Fulton looks dialed in. Both guys look ready. I'm anticipating this to be a great fight. And as always, we'll be scoring this fight round by round. And you guys can feel free to let me know after each round who you had winning. And we will do a comparative analysis as always on our scorecards. And all three judges are neutral judges. There's no judge from Japan. There's no judge from the United States. So I'm hoping that they score this fight correctly, right? But as I said, and I'm going to go back to it, I think Fulton will be the guy probably throwing more punches, but I think Inoue will be the more efficient fighter, and I think he'll land the cleaner, more telling blows. And my co-host Eric made a great point on Sunday. He said if Fulton gets hurt early, he could possibly go into survival mode or be very defensive minded and not be willing to exchange later in this fight. He may have to, go into self-preservation mode. Now, I don't know. I'm not sure if it's going to get to that. We'll see. Fulton's a tough Philadelphia fighter. He has that Philadelphia pride. So I don't think he came over here to Japan to lay down or just try to go the distance. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see if I'm right or wrong here. Right? So Fulton, George Foster said, if Fulton can't get Inoue's respect with his own power, he'll be in trouble. I agree with that, man. I'll agree with that. Boxing Maniac says, even with neutral judges, he says this could get fishy. It's possible. I do think judges have a tendency to have the built-in bias towards the A side, towards the home fighter, right? They read the press clippings. They know, they know what the perception is, and it's easy to sometimes to just go along with that perception, go along with the the popular opinion, go along with the groupthink, and going in, Fulton's gonna maybe have to do more just to get rounds there. I don't want to, cast a cloud over this fight before it even starts, but it is a good point to bring up because we do see in a lot of fights where the A side does get the benefit of the doubt more often than not. All right. So now we have somebody in the middle of the ring reading something. So I don't know what's going on here. I thought Jimmy Lennon Jr. would be doing all the announcing, but now they have another person reading something here. So it's kind of frustrating sometimes because these big fights. A lot of times in these big fights, they drag out these introductions, and it gets frustrating. But hopefully we can get underway shortly here. You know, I'm chopping at the bit right now. I'm ready, man. I'm ready to go. So, guys, if you want, give me your picks in the chat. Is anyone picking Fulton here? Is anyone going with the underdog? Must is Pustis is picking Fulton. Oh, here we go. Jimmy Lennon Jr. is now going to make the official announcements here. Oh, Jimmy Lennon speaking the Japanese. This guy, he can not only can speak English and Spanish, but he's speaking Japanese here. All right. Jimmy Lennon Jr. is my favorite ring announcer. No disrespect to Michael Buffer, but I'm a big Jimmy Lennon Jr. fan. Yeah, both guys look ready, man. I'm dying to see if both guys come out fast. Who's going to be the aggressor? Both guys can counterpunch a bit. Inoue's a good counterpuncher, but he can also be aggressive too. And Fulton does have that Philadelphia background, and you know Philadelphia fighters like to mix it up on occasion as well. So let's see what happened there. I am pumped up, man. I'm ready to go. I am ready to go here. I am ready to go. Jimmy Lennon Jr. is getting ready here. Make sure you guys hit that like button, share the video. I haven't done this in a long time. I thought I'd go live because, you know, this is a time where most people don't go live. So I was hoping that a lot of people would tune in. We'll see what happens. Jimmy Lennon Jr. Showtime. There we go. Wow, they're introducing the champion first? That's kind of a sign of disrespect. I don't like that, but oh well. Inoue's already flexing his A side right here, getting introduced second, huh? Stephen Fulton weighed in right at the limit at 122. He looks ready, man. He looks focused. He's got that focused look on his face. There's not one sign of nervousness here at all, in my opinion. I think he's ready to go. He wanted this fight. He asked for this fight. He traveled thousands and thousands of miles across the globe. And he's here now, man. Much respect to Stephen Fulton, man. He gets full credit. Question is the winner of this fight the pound-for-pound best? Or is the winner of Crawford Spence the pound-for-pound best? And I hate even asking that question because I am not a pound-for-pound guy. But just for the sake of argument, just for the sake of discussion, for all you pound-for-pound heads out there, I'd love to know what your opinion is. George Foster makes a great point because both guys are quick. Both guys have quick feet, right? But Inoue's a bit more explosive. But both guys are quick on their feet. And sometimes we'll say this guy's quicker than that guy and that guy's quicker than this guy, but we never truly know until we see the two fighters in the ring together. So let's see who is the quicker guy, because I think that's a key point in this fight. That's going to be a big determining factor is the speed here. Who gets off first, who gets their feet in position and is able to create those punching angles, and who's able to get their way into punching range and be able to carry their way out of punching range. Right? Inoue looks so relaxed, man. He looks like a silent killer assassin. Both guys look ready, man. Both guys are ready. I can't say that enough. Both guys are ready. They're definitely ready. Right, both guys are in the middle of the ring. They're getting instructions from the referee. Now we're just waiting for the first bell here, guys. All right, first bell. Both guys are in the center of the ring, posturing right now. Inoue is kind of stepping forward. Fulton is sliding back and he's circling. Looks like he's just parring with the jab. Automatically, it looks like Fulton is kind of just feeling out Inoue. Both guys are feeling each other out. Inoue throws the first jab to the stomach. Inoue is bobbing his head side to side. Looks like he's looking for openings here. So far, this is a tactical match. So far, Inoue is this guy who threw the only punches or landed the only punches so far. 2 jabs to the stomach so far. Now Fulton's trying to flick that jab up, but both guys have stayed in the center of the ring. No one's really backing up too much. Seeing Fulton getting ready to try to feint his way in a little bit, a little twitchy here. Both guys look a little tight. Both guys are a little hesitant here. No one's really stepping on the gas yet. Let's see who becomes the aggressor first here. Let's see who lands the first telling blow. Now Inoue is coming forward. Fulton is starting to back up in his circle. Every time Fulton does back up, though, he's circling. He's not backing straight up, so he is making sure that he is not in the line of fire here. Inoue lands a nice jab to the throat, partially blocked, but not a clean punch so far. Oh, Inoue throwing the right hand over the top, pushing Fulton back, partially blocked. So Inoue is moving that jab around from the body to the head, up and down. He's changing levels with the jab, which is a pretty good tactic. We know Inoue loves to throw those decoy throwaway punches to open up the big shots to the head, and he's already trying to employ that. Inoue throwing the first left hook there. Here we are on the inside, and the ref breaks them pretty quickly. So we didn't get a chance to see if Fulton's size would play a factor in the clinch because the ref broke him up very quickly. Inoue continues to come forward with the jab. And Fulton's trying to get that jab untracked, but he's coming up short. He's not in range. And Inoue is backing up Fulton again to the ropes through a hook, but it was blocked. So Inoue is definitely the aggressor here. He's the guy who's backing Fulton up. I don't believe it's Fulton going back on his own volition and trying to set traps. He's being forced back here, and he's being forced to be put on the defensive, in my opinion. No significant punches landed, but Inoue definitely thus far in this round is the effective aggressor, without question. I know some of you already have the round being over, and you're saying this is Inoue's round. And so far, this is Inoue's round. So now Inoue, we're in the clinch, and he's the guy who's moving his hands on the inside. He's the guy who's roughing up Fulton so far. He's being warned by the referee, don't punch behind the head, but he's the guy in the clinch moving his hands. So the round is over for me. We're probably a little bit off in the chat, so there's probably a delay, but that is an Inoue round in my opinion. He was the effective aggressor, and I do think Fulton was the guy backing up and being forced back and playing defense in that round. Inoue landed a pretty good stiff jab, showing the replay here. So that was probably the best punch of the round. That jab, Inoue's jab, he seemed to have been more effective with his jab. He was the guy that was landing it. He was able to get in range with his jab and gauge the distance better, in my opinion, in that round than Fulton. Fulton was throwing the jab, but he was out of range and he wasn't landing it. He was more or less throwing it as, to me, in my opinion, as a get off me punch. And it wasn't a punch to actually set up shots. He was using it more as a defensive weapon as opposed to a punch to try to set up shots. So Inoue landed 11 punches in that round to 3 for Stephen Fulton. Inoue threw 28. And Fulton, Inoue's coming in with some good shots there, landing a short right hand and a short left hook. Oh, now Inoue's starting to try to come over the top hard with that right hand. He's putting some mustard on these shots right now. And already Fulton seems to be on the retreat. He seems to be backing up, circling from left to right, right to left. He's playing defense right now, Fulton, and Inoue is stalking him thus far in this round. Inoue continues to move that jab up and down, body to head, head to body, and he comes over the top with a right hand. Fulton is taking these shots pretty well because Inoue hasn't landed anything clean, but they are still getting through. They are still getting through, whether they're being partially blocked or they're not landing as flush as Inoue would like. These are still scoring blows. And Fulton does come in with a 1-2, but he is short. That was his first sign of aggressiveness in this round. Inoue comes over with a short left and a right hand. So Inoue is really varying up the combinations here. He's sometimes throwing right hand leads, sometimes throwing left hand leads, and sometimes he's using the jab to set up the 1-2. Other times he's just throwing a left hand right hook. Excuse me, a left hand straight right. So he's really showing Fulton a lot of different looks here. Show him a lot of different looks here. Inoue lands another jab to the body. That jab to the body is a real effective punch here from Inoue. He's bending his knees, really changing levels well. And he's stepping in and bending his knees and getting low with that jab to the body. Not giving Fulton any opportunities to counter over the top because he's changing. Another right hand by Inoue, partially blocked. But again, Inoue is the guy who is more active. Throwing another right hand partially blocked. So Fulton has been on the defense so far the majority of this fight, and he hasn't offered up any counter punching or any offense of significance so far. He has been short with everything. He tried to throw a 1-2 here, and he's been short every time. Inoue is just making that subtle step back off to the side, and he's taking Fulton's punch out of range. Fulton's coming. Fulton's backing up again, and Inoue just continues to push Fulton back. The right hand. Inoue is really active with the jab. He's really keeping that jab in Fulton's face, not letting Fulton get off. And that right hand didn't land flush, but it's landing. It's getting through. But the one punch that's really been paying dividends for Inoue thus far is the jab. He's landing that jab to the body and to the head. And he's getting closer and closer with that right hand. So if this fight continues to go the way it's going, then Inoue is going to cruise to a 12-round unanimous decision, in my opinion. So we got 2 rounds in the bank for Inoue. He's the aggressor. Like I said, not to beat a dead horse, but he's more effective with his jab going downstairs and upstairs. And Fulton is just backing up, circling. He's not backing up to set traps, as I said earlier. He is being forced back. He is being forced on the defensive. Right? So. And that right hand seems to be getting closer and closer. Let's see if he is able to land that with some effectiveness in this round. Let's see if he can land that clean. Let's see if that right hand becomes a fight changer for him, because it looks like he's throwing the right hand more than the left hook in this fight. Right? He's trying to throw that right hand over Fulton's parring jab, because Fulton is not really stepping in with the jab. He's throwing it in a parring fashion. Ooh, the right hand over the top by Inoue. Yeah. Fulton's trying to come forward a little bit here. Let's see if Inoue forces him back here. Now Inoue's kind of backing up a little bit, looking like he's trying to set the trap. Now he's coming forward and pushes Fulton back a little bit. Fulton's throwing that jab out there, but it's more or less just a punch, just to try to keep Inoue off him. This jab from Fulton is a get-off-me punch. It's just a punch just to keep Inoue occupied here, trying to prevent Inoue from throwing, but not really a punch trying to set up offense, right? This jab from Fulton is predominantly, in my opinion, just a rhythm breaker, and Inoue just keeps coming forward with his jab, and he's stepping in. He's trying to make contact. He's trying to open up Fulton, whereas Fulton is just throwing that jab as a parring type, stay away from me type punch. Don't throw punches at me type punch. Like I said, I hate to say this in a disparaging way, but Fulton's jab is thus far has been a get off me punch, in my opinion. And Inoue just landed a jab upstairs. Now they're in the center of the ring, and Inoue is holding his ground, and so is Fulton, but Fulton is not really throwing. He's not getting off here. Inoue just keeps picking off the jab. He's either picking it off or Fulton is just coming up short with it. Now they're on the inside for a short period of time, and they exchange short punches. Nothing landed of significance. But Inoue is definitely the more active fighter here. I thought Fulton would be a lot more active here, particularly with the jab, but he is not. He's not active. Another jab to the body by Inoue, and another 1-2 by Inoue, partially blocked by Fulton. But once again, he's the guy stepping forward, and Fulton is the guy backing up, playing defense. This is like a wash, rinse, repeat every round here, guys. I mean, we're not seeing any adjustments being made thus far from Fulton. He's got to do something to turn this fight. As I said, if he continues to go to fight this way and use these tactics of, I'm just going to play defense the whole fight. Once again, another jab and a short uppercut. These punches are getting through. They're not landing particularly flush. Inoue's got Fulton's got a bloody nose right now. So I think that last right uppercut may have done some damage. It didn't land as cleanly as Inoue probably wanted it to, but it did get through. Jab to the body. Left hook upstairs, right? Now watch this replay here. Jab to the body. Another left hook. So this jab to the body is opening up the head shots for Inoue, right? Another right hand to the body. These punches aren't landing particularly flush, but they are getting through. And as the fight goes on, Inoue is going to get more comfortable because he's being allowed to come forward, and Fulton is doing nothing to stop Inoue's forward momentum and aggression. So as this fight goes on, I'm suspecting that Inoue is going to start landing cleaner and cleaner because he's able to. I'm not saying he's being allowed to walk in. He's creating these opportunities to put him in position to walk in because he's not being stopped. He's not being stopped because he's continuously changing the look, changing the levels of his punches, mixing up these combinations. Big right hand from Inoue, partially blocked, but they are pushing Fulton back. That right hand partially landed by Inoue. He is the guy coming forward. I can't say it enough. I know I'm sounding like a broken record here, but these rounds are kind of going the same way. This has been a repetition so far in this fight. Fulton has not really offered up any offense to stop Inoue from coming forward here and being the aggressor. Inoue's work rate continues to increase round after round. Oh, decent right hand by Fulton. That caught Inoue a little bit there, but Inoue took it well and continues to come back and came back with his own 1-2. And Fulton is just backing up, circling again on the defensive. He can't get off. Another jab to the body by Inoue. And Fulton just throws that jab out there, and he's not in range. He's not landing it. He's just that's just a stay away from me punch. Don't come forward. That jab is just a punch that Fulton is using to try to prevent Inoue from coming forward, but it's not touching. It's not landing. It's not really doing anything. Fulton tries to land a 1-2, but Inoue ducks underneath that right hand. Another jab, right hand again. Jab to the head, right hand to the body from Inoue. Big right hand from Inoue again, partially blocked, but again, these are getting through somewhat. They're not landing as flush as Inoue wants them to, but they are still partially getting through. And eventually, they are going to start piling up and causing some sort of damage to Fulton as the fight goes on, in my opinion. Nice hard jab by Inoue. Another 1-2 by Inoue. That right hand landed again. And now Fulton's nose is starting to bleed. Oh, big 1-2 again by Inoue. He landed with that right hand. And what's happening is Fulton is backing up, and he's not catching the full brunt of that right hand, but the right hand is still getting through. Now they tie up. They're on the inside, and Fulton is not moving his hands on the inside at all. So much for that roughing up on the inside. I think he's wary of the power of Inoue. Inoue throwing a left hook blocked by Fulton, comes back with a right hand blocked by Fulton. But once again, Fulton is being backed up consistently in this round. He's on the ropes. He's just circling. And yeah, it's another round in the bank for Inoue. These rounds are clean rounds for Inoue. Yeah, so the key punch here is the jab from Inoue, and this is not just a rangefinder type jab. You know, this is not a rangefinder type jab. This is an authoritative come forward type jab, knock you backward type jab, knock you off rhythm type jab. So far, Inoue is pitching a shutout as we go into round 5. I got it 4-0, and there is a significant punch thrown, punch landed advantage from Inoue in this fight so far. It is clearly evident. Wow, beautiful right hand left hook to the body by Inoue, and that left hook seemed to have landed pretty clean there. Now Inoue is really coming forward and letting his hands go, not landing with everything, but once again, he is the guy being the aggressor. So far, the odds makers do have it right here. Seem to have gotten it right. This is clearly a one-sided fight. Ooh, two big right hands that got through for Inoue, and they're backing Fulton up as he shakes his head. Decent right hand from Fulton, but Inoue is taking all these shots well. Oh, big right hand from Inoue. And Fulton keeps shaking his head no. So that kind of indicates to me that maybe it's yes. Another big right hand from Inoue seemed to have gotten Fulton's attention as he rocked him backward there. And so Inoue's right hand is starting to land here. It's getting closer and closer with it. And Fulton continues to back up and circle the ring. He's definitely in defense mode here. Nodding his head and as to say that, yeah, you got me that time, Fulton. Fulton saying. Once again, they're in the clinch. No muscling or roughhousing from Fulton. No trying to use his size. So far, the size has not been a factor at all from Fulton, in my opinion. And that blood from the nose is starting to flow again as Inoue is backing Fulton up, being very consistent with the jab. Fulton is just circling now. Seems like he's trying to... Oh, another right hand from Inoue. You know, nothing has really stunned Fulton yet, but they're getting his attention and preventing him from being as aggressive as he probably would like, forcing him to play defense. They're hard enough to get his attention, in my opinion, it seems. No fight-changing punch yet, though. Another jab by Inoue. Inoue just keeps controlling the action here. Another jab to the body by Inoue. And Fulton just keeps being backed up here. Fulton continues to just move backward. Now Fulton's starting to just go straight back now. Another right hand by Inoue. He's not circling as much now. Now he's being forced straight back. Another jab to the body by Inoue. I mean, there is not much offense being offered up by Fulton whatsoever here. This fight is not competitive in the least. This is a very one-sided fight. Inoue does not have a scratch on him. That left hook to the body is starting to, be a factor in this fight now too, and I think it's forcing Fulton to not move as much. I think, he's taking, Inoue is taking his legs away. Fulton did land one decent right hand in the fight, but in that round, but Inoue kind of rode it out a little bit. So right now we got a shutout, folks. Right now we got a shutout. These are Very easy rounds to score. 5 round to zip. 5 rounds to zip. Inoue is coming out of the corner. Inoue once again stepping in with double jab, and Fulton backs up. So the jab for Inoue has definitely been working for him. Fulton tries to throw a right hand over the top, blocked by Inoue. Fulton's trying to come forward a little bit here in this round so far, but he's not maintaining that momentum. As soon as he steps forward and gets hit a few times, then he gets forced backward immediately. So he's trying to come forward, but he's not had much success getting Inoue's attention and hurting him when he steps forward. He's still coming up short with the jab, Fulton. He's probably landed 2 good right hands this whole fight, and Inoue took them very well. So Inoue is backing up a little bit in this round, but he always finds his way back to the center of the ring. Now he's stepping forward again with the right hand left hook, partially blocked by Fulton. But, you know, Fulton has no snap whatsoever on his shots. Seems like he is just pushing these punches at this point. And when you see a fighter do that, he's basically concerned about what's going to be coming back at him. So he's just trying to throw those punches out there as quick as possible and bring them back as quick as possible. So these punches to me from Fulton do not appear to be thrown with bad intentions. These are just going through the motion type punches at this point. Ooh, big right hand, 1-2 by Inoue. So definitely, I do believe Fulton has felt the power of Inoue, even though he hasn't been particularly stunned yet, but this accumulate. Oh, a nice little short right hand on the inside. A short left hook on the inside by Inoue. Now these punches, like I said, have not been earth-shattering thus far. Oh, another right hand by Inoue. He's starting to find a home for these shots now. Now these punches are starting to land cleaner and more effectively than they were in previous rounds. But as I said, there's not been a fight-changing punch thus far from Inoue, but the accumulation of these shots landed are starting to take their toll on Fulton, in my opinion, and they're taking a lot of the steam, and you're starting to see a change in body language from Fulton now. He's looking a little discouraged in this fight, like he's running out of ideas. And Inoue continues to come forward with the jab, lands a decent right hand, and the right hand is starting to land cleaner in this round here. He's starting to come over the top, throwing in a looping fashion. And that you could argue that is probably the best round of the fight for Inoue, because he started finding a home for that right hand. But the body work has been key, particularly with the jab. Inoue is landing that jab very consistently to the body, and he's throwing a couple short right hands downstairs too. So I do think, as I said, that body work is starting to pay dividends for Inoue. It's starting to take the legs away from Fulton, and that's why I think he's not moving as much. And when he does move, he's going straight back now. He's not really circling as he was earlier in the fight. So this right now is 6-0. Six rounds to nothing right now. I'm sure Fulton came in here with full intentions to try to win this fight, but it's a different ballgame once you're in there, right? As Floyd Mayweather always likes to say, it looks different. It looks different from the outside, but once you're in there, it's a different story, right? And that's definitely been the case thus far in this fight. Oh, Fulton tries to come forward with a 1-2, but Inoue slips it. So in terms of the speed, I think Inoue appears to me to be the quicker guy. He's shown to be quicker here. I don't think anything Fulton's done in terms of speed and movement has any impact on Inoue. He has not been troubled by one bit by anything Fulton has done. And Fulton, once again, tries to come forward with a 1-2, and he is very, very short there. He just cannot get himself in range. Inoue is just using a lot of subtle movement, just making those short steps to the side. And one thing that Inoue does beautifully is when he does move, he gets back in position. Oh, a nice, decent right hand by Fulton on the inside, followed with a good left hook to the body, but Inoue comes right back. Immediately comes right back. But that was a good right hand by Fulton. Best punch of the fight thus far. But again, these punches are having zero effect on Inoue, it seems to me, because he just continues to come forward and fire back immediately. That was a nice exchange right there for Fulton. But once again, he's back on his heels. And Inoue continues to throw that jab downstairs, changing levels with it, back upstairs with it. Oh, a nice short right hand by Inoue on the inside. Right? So Inoue's doing some good work up close with that right hand, shortening up on the inside. And Fulton continues to back up. Now he's back to circling a little bit. But he is definitely, another decent right hand by Fulton. That was a nice shot over the top, but Inoue just eats it perfectly and continues to come forward. So Fulton's had some decent success in this round. I don't know if it's enough to give him the round, but this has been a better round for him with the right hand. Oh, another right hand over the top by Inoue, partially blocked by Fulton. But these shots, even when Fulton is blocking them, they're still pushing him back. Now Fulton is back up against the ropes in the corner. So he's really being pushed back here. Even though, another double jab left hook that landed for Inoue. Nice little combination there. And Fulton is not where he wants to be up against the ropes. Oh, a decent left hook by Fulton off the ropes, but once again, Inoue is just taking these shots and coming forward. Another jab by Inoue. Better round for Fulton, but I don't know if it's enough to give it to him. I'm going to have to say it's not. It is not. So better round for Fulton, but still not enough in my opinion. He hasn't landed anything in this fight, Stephen Fulton, to get Inoue's respect. But yeah, I mean, Inoue is definitely making Fulton be very hesitant here. Closer round, but still not enough to give it to him. Let's see if Fulton makes any adjustments, because we're going into the championship rounds shortly, and Fulton does not have one-punch knockout power, so he's going to have to do something here, win all these rounds and score a couple knockdowns to win on my card, because Inoue already has 7 rounds in the bank. So in order for Fulton to win this fight, like I said, he's going to have to pitch a shutout the rest of the way and score a couple knockdowns, and I don't think he'll be able to do that based off what I've seen so far in this fight. Another jab to the body by Inoue. Another jab to the back upstairs, jab to the head. Fulton throws a jab of his own, but big right hand, and he hurt. Big right hand left hook, and he knocked Fulton down, and Fulton is hurt. Wow, what a right hand left hook combination. And Fulton does not have his legs. And Inoue is jumping right back on him. He's all over him, and Fulton's on the ropes. And Inoue is just unlanding. He is unlanding right now, and the referee stops the fight under a barrage of punches, and Fulton has been stopped, and has crumpled into his corner. This fight is over. This fight is over. So Inoue, big right hand. Fulton still doesn't have his legs. Seems like he doesn't really know where he is. And that was a vicious beating right there at the hands of Naoya Inoue. Eighth round stoppage by Naoya Inoue. So, I mean, what are we going to say now, guys? You guys wanted to talk about the hand wraps. Inoue wrapped the hands the way Fulton's team wanted him to be wrapped, and he still knocked out Stephen Fulton. So I guess we can kill the noise with that bullshit, right? Guess we can kill the noise with that bullshit because Inoue did it with his hands wrapped the way you guys wanted him to. Wow. That happened so fast, man. I couldn't even keep up with the action. Right hand, left hook. The right hand was the punch that was the beginning of the end. And even when Fulton got back up, you could tell his legs weren't there, right? His legs were not there. But ladies and gentlemen, we have a new WBC, WBO super bantamweight champion right now, Naoya Inoue. Full credit to, Stephen Fulton. He didn't have to take this fight. He could have moved up. He could have moved up. He could have went to 126. He could have had a rematch with Brandon Figueroa, which was probably a less dangerous fight. But Naoya Inoue answered the questions. Will his power carry up to 122? And it most certainly absolutely did. Right? So all you guys who were complaining about the hand wraps, wow, that right hand was vicious. That left hook was just a formality. The right hand was the punch that did the damage. Look at this here. Inoue is just all over him, just smothering Fulton, and Fulton is defenseless here up against the ropes. Oh, another right hand, left hook. Wow, Inoue smells that blood, and he is a killer finisher. Yeah, so the question remains now, is Inoue pound for pound the number one guy? Or will the winner of Crawford-Spence be number one? That was a phenomenal performance by Naoya Inoue. And they're Inoue and Fulton haven't even embraced or congratulated each other or anything. Let's see if Stephen Fulton goes to Inoue's corner and congratulates him, because there was bad blood before this fight. And now Inoue is going over to Stephen Fulton, and he's congratulating. Oh, Stephen Fulton's still in the corner. So Inoue basically just was dapped up by the training team, and Fulton hasn't really done anything yet. So much for the hand wrap controversy. What are you guys gonna say now? What are you guys gonna say now? Let's see what the excuses are now, guys. I'm dying to fucking hear it. What do you guys think? Is Inoue the number one guy right now? Or is it going to be Crawford-Spence winner? What are you guys' thoughts? It's a very one-sided beating from Naoya Inoue. This fight has not even been close. It's been given some type of certificate in the middle of the ring from the Japanese commission, it seems. But yeah. Let's see if Inoue is a hype job now, guys. Anyone calling Naoya Inoue a hype job now is a clown, in my opinion. And you just don't like him. In my opinion. If you don't give this guy full credit now, then the problem is with you, not with him. Wow, look at the Asian honey dips, the Japanese honey dips. Beeb loves those Asian women. Look at Bob Arum, 91 years old, traveling to Japan, taking pictures with Naoya Inoue. You got to give Bob Arum credit, man. Anyone who talks shit about Bob Arum been doing this for close to 50 years, man. He's been doing this for 50 years, and he's still traveling the globe at 91 years old. Who does that, bro? Yeah, I'm going to cape for Bob Arum a little bit here. Fuck that. Yeah, I am going to cape for Bob Arum a little bit. This dude, over the course of 50 years, has promoted the best fighters in the world consistently. Look at those Japanese honey dips. I I hate to sound thirsty here, but you know how the Beeb loves the Asian women. Those women are beautiful in that ring right now. Asian women, you know, are the Beeb's weakness. They're Beeb's kryptonite. All right, let's get back to this fight here. Look at this big. Oh my God, what a vicious right hand. Oh my God. Oh, and he followed up with a short left hook. Wow, he never had his legs. He never had his legs under him. Oh, what a vicious right hand. Wow. Wow. Look at this. No, we're not going to do this now. We're not going to disrespect Fulton. We're not going to disrespect Fulton. No, nobody's a hype job. One guy is just better than the other guy. We're not going to disrespect Stephen Fulton here. We're not going to do what other people do. We're not going to be the antithesis of the PBC fanboys. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Fulton took on the tough fight. He didn't have to. He went over to Japan. Fulton's getting full credit. He tried. He did his best. There's got to be a winner and there's got to be a loser. Inoue's just a better fighter. We're not going to do that to Stephen Fulton. We're not going to be like the other side. Unfortunately, I have to say that. I never wanted to be on the side, but the side I'm on the side of the truth and logic. I'm on the right side, right? I walk a higher path than a lot of these clickbait motherfuckers on here, right? There may be only 46 people watching me right now, and there are probably hundreds watching them, but guess what? That doesn't matter because we're not going to be like them just so we can get clicks. That's not what we're going to do over here. We're not going to do that over here. And the hand wraps meant nothing. And look how classy the Japanese people are. Stephen Fulton is exiting the ring, and he's being applauded by all the Japanese fans. No one's booing him. Fans are reaching out and touching him. The Japanese fans are showing him respect. This is what it's all the fuck about, guys. Right? American boxing fans, I'm going to say it and say it again. You're the fucking worst motherfuckers on the planet. And yes, I'm going to get emotional about it because this is how it's supposed to be done. We need another country to show us how it's supposed to be done. That's what we need. The man lost, right? And he was applauded. And he was clapped and he was being dapped up as he left the ring. That's how the fuck it's supposed to be done. That's how it's supposed to be done. Right? That's how you do it. Right? So the Americans need to take a page out of the Japanese book here. Japanese people's book here. That's how you fucking do it. You show respect to the winner and the loser. That's how you do it. That's how you fucking do it. Simple as that. The man was clapped. He was being applauded on his way out. Japanese fans were dapping him up. They were reaching out, touching him. They were gracious. And he had just apologized to Fulton's team for whatever problems they may have had with him. Showing respect. Why can't American fans do this? Why can't American fans do this?
How's it going?
How you doing, brother? Good morning to you. How you doing? You okay?
Good morning. Right? Good morning. Yeah.
You eat breakfast yet? You eat breakfast yet? You got a lot of energy? You ready?
Oh yeah. Look.
Go ahead, brother.
There's only one way to say this, bro. That was a boxing lesson, bro. He didn't just there's not one aspect of boxing that he didn't do better than Fulton at. And this has to be a humbling experience for a lot of these. And I got to say it, bro, a lot of these American boxing fans, okay, that were coming into this fight and instead of just appreciating these two, Great fight. I think Inoue's great, for sure. You know what I mean? Fulton's a good fighter, and instead of just appreciating these guys fighting, they turned it into something ugly, bro. And I can't just sit back and just allow it to just kind of go away, because we both know what would have happened if it was the other way around, right? If that was Fulton putting on a boxing lesson, you and I would be giving Fulton his credit, but we know what some other fans would be doing. They'll be trashing the dude, okay? They'll be questioning his whole career and all this other shit. I saw Clarissa Shields post, we want to see the whole wrapping. Why are they only showing the wrist part? Like, Clarissa, Stephen Fulton's trainers there watching the wrapping happen. I can't believe Inoue was treated. Inoue is like not this dude that they're trying to pin him out to be. You know what I mean? The Japanese people should not be referred to as we're behind enemy lines. Okay, the way Fulton's trainer was saying. What do you mean you're behind enemy lines, bro? It's a boxing match, and they've been treating you with nothing but respect since you've been there. You know what I mean?
I agree with you, brother.
I never hear fighters like Lomachenko or somebody say I'm behind enemy lines because they're fighting in the U.S. Fulton did what other fighters from all around the world do all the time. Okay, he went to a foreign country to fight. Guess what? That's what Triple G did. That's what a lot of guys do. And before they say, oh, but why would they cheer for Triple G? Well, why don't they do it for the American fighter? First of all, I don't even think that's true. But did you not see how they were applauding Fulton? Yes. Did you not see the respect they showed him? They treated him like a rock star over there. We don't treat Triple G like that over here.
That's what class is, brother. You can't teach class.
We don't treat foreign fighters like that, like rock star. They show up to the airport or whatever. We want autographs, and we just don't do that. You know what I mean? And another thing, B, it's a new age, bro. The best baseball player in the world right now is Japanese. And in my opinion, the best boxer in the world right now is Japanese. His name is Inoue. If you weren't a believer then, you got to be a believer now. I mean, I think he's head and shoulders above everybody, in my opinion.
And guess who's in the ring right now asking Inoue for a undisputed unification match? And guess who's saying yes to it right now? Marlon Tapales, right, from the Philippines, is in the ring right now asking for a unification fight, for undisputed, right, at 122. And guess what happened? Inoue said yes. So what else can you complain about? Tapales graciously was in the ring and asked him, like you said, didn't have to say I'm behind enemy lines, like not making, like, it's about boxing, bro, and that's what it should be. But I said something, and I hated that I have to say it, but honestly, D-Style, we are the other side, and we have to be the other side. We're the side of reason, right? They forced us to be on the other side, right? They won't. We can't be with them, and I hate saying us versus them. But they've created this tribal atmosphere that people like you and I have to speak out against. Let me read a couple of these super chats, and I'll pass it right back to you, and you can burn. All right. Pocket says, wow, Inoue jab, body shots, counters, great distance. Inoue is absolutely amazing. I only saw him once. Well, this was a great time for you to see him if it was the first time. Sly Tendency said, Fulton showed a lot of heart to get up. He was hurt. Yeah, we're not gonna be like the other side and take shots at Fulton and disrespect him. We're not going to do that. Look, now we're going to get another undisputed fight. Why? Because Naoya Inoue is a real one. He's a real one.
I don't know what else they want this guy to do, and at this point, and I know you said it. I believe you said on the roundtable, said if he beats Fulton, no one could say anything. Well, that's yet to be seen. We'll see. I don't know, dude, they're just going to get quiet, or they're going to start throwing more accusations, or they're just going to just man up, act like men, and just say, you know what? I was wrong about this guy, and he showed me that he's the real deal. That's not that he had to do it. He didn't have to do that. He was already a 3 or 4 division champion, right? I think it's 3. Now it's 4, right? So like he had already proven he's an elite fighter. He had already done that. But I have to keep hearing, oh, look at who are these guys? I don't know who they are. The only name I see here is 50-year-old Donaire. That's the only guy I see on here. Like, well, guess what? Donaire put up a better fight. It's in the first fight, that is, than Fulton did. Right? The old man put something together that night, studied Inoue enough, and did a better job than Fulton did. So what he could do now for everybody that was using Donaire is some type of like, that's who he beat? Donaire? Well, now you could take that, you could shove it, is what he could do. All right? Because Donaire had a better performance against him. How about that one? All right?
Correct.
Like, it is what it is. Donaire did have something that Fulton doesn't have, which is punching power that Inoue had to respect, but I don't even want to dive into that, right? Because at this point, it's mute. But man, I'm telling you right now, dude, I don't. No offense to the Potters, I don't see him winning that fight.
No, it's gonna be probably just as easy as this fight was.
Probably easier, bro.
And I hate to say it in a disparaging way, but
and look, he has every right to. Hey, shout out to him. He wants to fight anyway. I mean, I can't knock it. You know what I mean? But man, did all this? It's mind games, and you know what? Mind games don't work, Beeb. If you know you could punch, and your opponent thinks or is it alluding that it's because of some wraps or some stacking, and you know that's not true, do you really think it's gonna fuck with Inoue's head? Is he thinking to himself, "Man, they must be really concerned about my power"?
I'm gonna say a couple things here, and these are gonna be great points, right? I heard someone yesterday who's supposedly a trainer, right, and who was kind of affiliated with Stephen Fulton in some way. He goes, "Well, by wrapping the hands that way, you don't really increase punching power, but you allow the guy to punch as hard as he wants to because he's not afraid he's gonna break his hand." Are you fucking kidding me? So you just admitted it doesn't matter, but it allows. So you know what's funny? Everyone talks about how they care about the safety of the fighters. So you don't want a fighter to go into a fight and not break his hand? Isn't that part of the safety of the fighters, preserving the fighter's hand by not allowing it to get damaged? All that does when you put the tape first and you put the gauze after the tape first, when you put tape on flesh, all it does is provide more stability to the hand and wrist. Every time a fighter breaks his hand, he breaks the metacarpal bone right here, right? Yeah. The metatarsal bone right here. Because when you hit it, boom, the impact goes like this. This part of this is the bone that always gets broken. Right. The knuckles may get bruised. The knuckles may get bruised, but this part gets broken. So when you allow this part of the hand to be more stabilized and firm, all you're doing is preventing hand injuries. So when you're preventing a fighter from getting injured, that in itself is protecting the safety of the fighters. So these guys just want an advantage. They know the guy's hand was injured. His hand, just like Canelo's hand, was wrapped that way because Canelo had a wrist injury. So fighters, Paulie Malignaggi used to wrap his hands away. Fighters who have suffered from hand injuries wrap their hands that way, so the wraps are more protective and it provides more stability for their hands to prevent them from getting injured. So that in itself is for providing the safety for the fighters to prevent them from getting injured. So if you are for the safety of the fighters, then you should be for that type of wrapping. And there is no rule that says you can't do it, but there have been commissions and certain cases that someone will say, I'm not going to allow it. That's a judgment call. But if you want to get technical, it does not say in any commission rule that you can't do it. Right? So it is.
You said Paulie used to wrap him like that with the tape first?
Correct. Paulie did. Because Paulie made a video.
Do you remember when Paulie was knocking dudes out like left and right?
No, I don't actually.
He didn't do anything for Paulie, right? Paulie didn't become like a knockout artist all of a sudden because who believes, bro, that if you put tape right here, like just think about it logically, guys. Do you really believe that you start with tape, it makes you into a monster like puncher? I mean, I can't even like fathom this thought, bro. And then guess what? You got to see him wrap his hands, bro. Right? You got to see him wrap his hands, and it didn't even matter, dude. I need to say this, bro. Even though I picked Inoue to win, I picked him by decision. I did not think he was going to stop Fulton. So I can't even say my analysis was right because it was totally wrong. I got the pick right, but I got the analysis wrong. I said Fulton would be ahead after 4, and then Inoue would take over in the middle rounds and take over and win the rest. I thought it was going to be like an 8-4 type decision for convincing decision, but I still. He made it look a lot easier than I thought he would. Like, I was in complete shock watching him out jab Fulton. And Bradley said it right. You know, once in a while, Bradley has some good lines. He said it's like he knew what Fulton was going to do. Like, he was punching where Fulton was going, right? So Fulton was moving left, moving right, whether it was his hook or his right hand, he had something for him, right? And I'm telling you, a lot of people were questioning Babe, and look, rightfully so, because this was a style that Inoue hadn't fought yet. But boy, did he pass with flying colors. I mean, flying colors, and nobody could say, "Oh, Fulton tried to fight his fight," or no. I actually think Inoue fought his fight. I think Inoue fought Fulton's fight, and outboxed him, outjabbed him. And I got to tell you, bro, that jab to the body was a thing of beauty. From the opening bell, he was landing that jab to the body, and Fulton had no answers for it. Every time Fulton had some success, he'll go back to the jab to the body. It would stifle Fulton a little bit. Every time Fulton landed something, Inoue will come back and land 3 or 4 every single time. And this was the performance of the year, probably one of the best performances. Would you say this is better than Shakur against Valdez?
By far.
Yeah, I think it was by far a better performance. It's not even close.
It's not even close, in my opinion.
Yeah, like I don't think anyone's had a better performance than this at all. At all. And I'm telling you, somebody just tweeted to me, and I guess it's a good point. Part of being great is turning doubters into believers, and I don't know. It's just, well, in this era, do doubters admit they were wrong? Is what I want to know.
Because they have to continue to perpetrate the grift. Because everybody knew, and I'm just gonna say it. Everybody knew deep down inside. They knew deep down inside that those raps meant nothing, but they had to perpetrate it because what did it do? It created the division that people just want.
And I said something yesterday. Shout out to Wave and Calix, who did a show, and I meant it. And this solidified it. It's just that I said Inoue has the best reflexes in boxing. Did you see him making Fulton miss the jab by inches? Like by inches, bro. And he was doing it multiple times. It was not an accident. And then Bradley points out, oh, look, he has his head tilted and he's open for the right hand. I don't know why Fulton's not throwing it. Because Fulton knows it's not going to be there anymore by the time he throws it, bro. It's a trap. Fulton was smart enough to know it's a trap, bro. Like, no, I don't know about that one, right?
Yeah, okay, Bradley.
And look, he did try, BB. He wasn't successful, but he did try to go to the inside. I did say he would try to go to the inside. But Inoue had an answer, bro. How do you beat this guy? Other than moving up too many weight classes and fighting somebody too big for him, who beats him?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if 126 would be a bridge too far. Who knows? Who knows? But he may have to do something like that just to get a challenge.
Yeah, because ain't nobody gonna buy that. I mean, no, if this was the best at 122 right here, like I don't really need to see like it goes back to that undisputed argument. Like we don't need to see him fight the Palas to know he's the best. But hey, maybe an MG fight if MG hadn't lost would have been intriguing. I'm trying to think, man. Like what about? Do you think Brandon Figueroa would be a nightmare style for Inoue, or you think Inoue would have no problems with him?
I think Inoue beats him.
You don't think the size, the volume could be an issue?
You know who's the toughest style for this guy is Luis Alberto Lopez, bro. I don't think Ray Vargas beats Inoue. I don't think Lee Wood beats Inoue.
I don't think Lopez can beat Inoue, bro. I like Venado, but
He would probably be the toughest challenge, but you
yeah.
could
Well,
still make an argument that Inoue would beat all of them.
but in fairness, you did say it's the best fight.
That's why.
What about Shockey? Well, he's at 130. Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Shockey Foster.
Yeah, never mind.
I don't think Inoue could go to 130. I think it's not impossible to go to 130.
I don't think Ray Vargas has a shot. I
don't think Ray Vargas has a shot either.
I don't know who beats him. I mean, it's like one of those, like, we're just gonna have to witness it. You know, we're just gonna have to it's gonna be an event when he fights. And it's not his fault. Like it kind of is what it is. Bro, I'm already seeing people saying he should go up to fight Tank. Like, I don't know about that one, but like it tells you how, like, they don't think anyone has a shot. You know, like,
that's too much. Tank is too much.
Yeah, like, I mean, that's too many weight classes there. You know what I mean? Do you think he has a shot to? I know he's like. I've seen interviews of Inoue. Now, granted, I don't speak Japanese, so I'm not like, you know, I'm relying on the interpretation. But he said he wants to become the greatest fighter that ever lived. I mean, what kind of moves does he have to do to be in a discussion? I mean,
if he becomes undisputed in this weight class, that's 2 undisputed weight classes. Then if he goes up to 126 and becomes undisputed there, that's undisputed in 3 weight classes. That's crazy.
Bro, I can't get over how easy he made it look. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
I know pound for pound Jack wants him to go down to 118 and fight Chocolatito and Estrada, bro. He would. I don't want to see that happen. Like unless Chocolatito's getting a good payday, that's not a good fight for Chocolatito, bro. If Chocolatito couldn't handle Rungazai, right? No offense to Rungazai, he's a good fighter, but
he would have already been a champion he would have already been like a 5-division world champion, but he skipped over 112. He went from 108 to 115.
What is it about 112? Like, even like Bam skipped it at first. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is. It's one of the original 8, but he
maybe it's the names, right? Maybe it's just the money. I don't know. Who knows?
Know. Probably like money fights or whatever.
Maybe look how he moves though. Like, he goes for undisputed 122. He wants to go for the best guy. Maybe there wasn't. I don't know. I gotta go back and see, but maybe there wasn't anybody there. But what about Nakatani? The guy that knocked out the little Maloney.
Yeah, Nakatani would be interesting. Be an interesting fight.
But again, I don't know, man. I don't think anybody beats him.
Oh shoot!
What?
Nah, I gotta check my audio, guys. Give me a second, because I do want.
I think nobody beats him from 126 down. I would favor him in all those fights.
He could go up to 126 and be the man up there too.
Man,
you ready, Maestro? No, I still don't have his audio worked out.
Not fighting at 112 is really going to make it difficult for him to ever break that Manny Pacquiao record. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Skipping that weight class is maybe he shouldn't have done that.
But here's one thing that he's doing that Pacquiao and Floyd weren't doing. He's becoming undisputed. So that's a feather in his cap.
You know, I'm thinking back, bro. Like, remember the face-off at the weigh-in?
Yeah.
Like, now, like, the way in, go back and watch it. The way Inoue looked at him was like oh, you don't know what the fuck's gonna hit you type of look. That's the type of look he gave him.
You don't know what's gonna happen to you.
Like, oh, you have no idea, do you? Like, that's. And I think in the back of his mind, he's like, oh, your trainer thinks I did some shit with the wraps, and that's why I. You know what I mean? You think that's why I could punch? Okay, you know what I mean? Like, it's just. You know. I'm just saying, when the accusation isn't true, like, you ain't even worried about it. You know what I mean?
All it does is provide an extra layer of protection. And if you're for the safety of the fighters, like you say you are, most people, then you would want the fighter to have the most protection for his hands possible. Because when you break your hand, you can't fight. When you can't fight, you can't make a living for yourself. So are these people really for the safety of the fighters like they say they are, or they just want to pick a side? I'll take the latter. I'll take the latter.
Yeah.
It's that simple. Well, pretty much not much else to say about this, man. I'm sure we'll be talking about it during the week with the roundtable and other shows that are.
I can't wait to see what the panel will say about it, and just kind of let it. It's going to be like 2-3 days to let it sink in a little bit. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then we're going to know what people are saying by then. What are the excuses? So it's going to be interesting in the roundtable.
We'll probably have some TMZ stories to kind of have to refute.
It's like I'll just say their names, bro. Boxing Eagle, you have a lot of explaining to do. After trying to do videos about, he got caught, what's he going to do now? And he got caught. Like, I mean, I don't know, bro. Like this shit's crazy. Well, one last point about the wraps really quick. Anyone who's against the fighters protecting their hands, like it defeats the whole purpose of wrapping your hands to begin with. That's why you wrap your hands. So it makes it more difficult, not impossible, more it's just safer for your hands. You know what I mean? That's why they wear the gloves. That's the whole point. So it can actually have a sport, people. Otherwise, you would be breaking your hands left and right.
When you go to look at any sport, whether it be baseball, football, basketball, soccer, anytime someone has issues with their wrists or ankles, what do? Kobe Bryant had a bad ankle. He busted up his Achilles tendon. What did he do? He taped his ankle before every game. Tape right on the skin.
So he was cheating. I mean, this shit's stupid, bro. I don't even know what to say about these people anymore. But I will say this: y'all have a lot of explaining to do. Like, you know what I mean? And you created this. You don't have to bash Inoue. You don't have to call him a hype job. You don't have to say it's going to be easy work for Fulton. Oh, he's been exposed. What's he going to do now that he got exposed with the raps? And you don't have to do that. All you have to say was what the rest of us said. These are two great fighters. They're testing themselves. Shout out to Inoue for moving up. Shout out to Fulton for telling PBC, nah, I want the smoke. I want to go over there. All right? And after this beep, I doubt any PBC fighter leaves the camp. I doubt it.
Remains to be seen. All right, guys. We'll wrap it up, man. Take care, everybody. Have a good day.